Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie.
And Meredith.
And welcome to This Is My Circus.
Yeah.
I almost messed it up.
For real, where I said the name, like I don't even know the name. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's all good. You know what? We have like 5 bloopers every episode.
Well, and welcome to our circus, because it kind of is.
It is. We should have named it that.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so.
Well,
we'll make a t-shirt. This is fancy.
I know. So Dylan, for those of you that can't see us, set up his microphone for us, and it's like this LED fancy changing colors thing.
I'm a little scared of it, like intimidated, and then I also want to pick it up and like mic check 1 2 1 2 and go for it.
Heck yeah. I want to see it. I am there for it all.
I can freestyle.
Do it.
I cannot freestyle. It'd be like roses are red and violets are blue. That's like all I got. And I would have to make up something that rhymes with blue. See, I already failed.
Do you remember when Dylan had his YouTube channel?
Yes.
And he had a couple of raps on it.
I do remember that. Jackson had to write a song in elementary school for like one of those projects where they correlate like art and music and everything. And yeah, it was a rap. Anyway.
Did he perform it for class?
It was the COVID year.
Oh.
So like after all the work we put into it, like they didn't even do anything with it.
So when Dylan was on D2 football, he wrote a rap about football, and he had shout outs to like all the team members, but he never did it. Like he never like performed it or like recorded it. I still have it in my notes app. I do.
I'd love to see it.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I was late today. I had to stop and get my gallon of sweet tea. I needed some sugar today. I know you're exhausted.
Yes.
I can't wait to hear about your weekend though.
Okay. Yes.
Commercial.
So it was very exciting but exhausting.
Yeah.
We left on Friday at like 10:15 at night because we were trying to wrap up everything that we had to get done for the weekend before we left.
Yep.
And it was like just one more thing. And so we didn't leave till 10:15. But this is the first time that I have gone anywhere without Rex, like for an extended period of time. So my mom watched him.
Good.
Dylan decided last minute not to go.
Okay.
And so he stayed at my mom's as well, and he stayed with Rex. So it made him a little more comfortable. Yeah. But he knows my mom. He loves my mom. But
okay, so you left at 10:15. Mm-hmm. How long was that drive?
7 hours. Oh, but we drove until like 3 in the morning, and then we got a hotel room.
Yeah.
I drove.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Oh my God.
Brandon was working on the iPad.
Yeah.
While we were driving.
Multitasking. He wasn't over there just cutting logs or anything.
No. So we got a room. Then I was so afraid I wasn't going to wake up in time because we had to be there by 1. And
that's the worst feeling.
So I didn't really sleep good because I was like, if I go into a deep sleep, I'm not going to wake up.
Yeah. And
that was the worst bed ever. Like, it was horrible.
As tired as you were, the bed was terrible. You didn't want to oversleep if you were exhausted.
Yes. So we get there, and I mean, one of our pros, Mike Hoffman, extended his house test to do the like barbecue cookout scene and everything. So that was so nice of him.
That's very generous.
Yes. And we have a great group of guys, and they all know each other. You know, they all live in Virginia, Maryland area, so they play a lot together. Yeah. So they already have that relationship, and there was more people there. Not just the pros, there was a couple of other people, but it was wonderful. And it was so great to like get to know them a little more. I know a couple of them pretty well, but we've got new players on the team this year.
Just to spend some time and not just like a 5-minute here or there.
Yeah, like really what's cool. Up at an event. So yeah, it was really cool to get to know them, get to know their spouses. And then we went to another location and did like the pro shoot. So we had all of us at once had one line to do, and I was so afraid I was gonna mess it up. And
like my intro to this podcast. Okay,
I was like, I have one job.
Did you succeed?
Well, so the dude was like, I'm just going to get the audios. So, me, Brandon, and Adrian were like in the one line. And so me and Adrian were like just repeating the line over and over because he's like, I just want to get the audio. And then he's like, all right, scene's done. Let's move on. And me and Adrian look at each other, and Brandon was like, okay, cool. And like he starts to walk off, and me and Adrian are like, yo, you told us you were just doing audio.
Right.
And he's like, no, I got it. We're good. And Adrian's like, but I didn't suck it in. And I'm like, neither did right.
We weren't sitting right.
I was like, no, like we need to do this over. And he's like, no, we're good. We got the shot. And I was like, oh. So
Did you get to preview it yet?
No, not yet.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on TV, like not sucking it in.
You're going to look amazing.
But like after like a day outside and it was like, near the ocean, like my hair was like, so before we did like the scene I had to be in, I put my hair up in a ponytail and a hat.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
So it was good though. And I'm so excited to see what they do with it.
Summer, right? It's going to come around.
I think it's in end of June.
I can't wait.
So
I'm stopping ESPN to see your vid.
You're going to know a famous person.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's funny. Well, I'm glad it went well. And
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's been going on?
Well,
Jackson killed it in the Charlotte
did do good
event. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Something I was going to say.
Congratulations, Jackson.
Jay. So yeah, he went to the West Charlotte Heat Invitational. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. At the track club at West Mecklenburg High School and got first place in his age division in discus and second in shot put. And then he did conference last week and he got first in both discus and shot put. So he has done really well.
And this is his first year.
Well, he did it last year.
Okay.
But his high last year was like 100 feet, 110, I think. And this year he's like 130, 140. So he's doing really good. I'm excited to see how this goes. Can you hear us?
Dylan said like you have to, I don't know. I don't know.
I think Dylan's playing jokes on you.
I think he is. He's like, if you hit it like up here, see, there's a little mute button.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm so afraid to
hit something on my hands.
It's like, bop.
Yeah.
It's like a bop it.
When I freestyle, I will not hit that. Speaking of Dylan.
Yes.
We call him Dilly Dilly.
Yeah.
How did we get his nickname? You want to share that story?
So we were at your house
yes.
for New Year's. No, it was Super Bowl. Was it? No, it was New Year's
Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. And everybody got quiet waiting for the ball to drop. And there was a big group of us.
Yeah.
And my child yells out because it was like the year of the Bud commercials.
Yeah.
And he yells out, Dilly Dilly. And all the kids yell out
in response,
Dilly Dilly.
It was hilarious. It was so funny. It was just like they scripted it, which knowing those goofballs they might have.
Maybe.
But then again, they're also fun and impromptu anyway. It was great.
Yeah. But Dylan gave Jackson a nickname when they were like 5 and 6.
Yes.
And we have no clue where it came from.
And what it means.
Yeah.
I don't think they know either.
No, I don't think they do. But it was Chipman.
And it's not even a real word that I know of.
No.
It's not a name of anybody. It's not a, I don't know if it was like a combination of a chipmunk and a... It's a hybrid. I have no idea.
And I asked Dylan if he remembers, and he's like, no.
And I remember, so that was the phase when they didn't have a tooth in their head because they're losing their teeth. I'm like, am I not understanding him right? Because he doesn't have any teeth. Is he saying, no, it was just Chipman.
Yeah. No clue where it came from, but they rolled with it.
And we still talk about it, obviously. But yeah, when I see Dylan, I still call him Dilly.
Yeah.
Kind of shortened it from the 4 syllables to 2. That's how awesome I am.
Yeah, he was going by that like exclusively for a while.
Yeah,
but now like I always call him D, and I've called him that forever.
Yeah.
So that's he responds to most things.
He responds to most things. He's such a good boy.
So, well, we were away for the weekend, and we get home on Sunday.
Yeah,
and there's a hole in the shed roof. A branch came down while we were gone and went right through.
Yeah, it rained pretty bad this weekend.
The roof, and I was like,
our shed.
Yeah, so
our studio.
Shed.
Is it a difficult? Like I know anything?
No, like Brandon said, it was like a clean like right through. Okay. And this happened once before, and I looked out and I was like, is that the same exact spot that it happened before? And Brandon's like, that's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
That's crazy,
right?
It's like lightning doesn't strike twice,
but it does.
Absolutely. So umpire update. the season's winding down and not a lot's going on. I mean, I still kind of suck, but I have some good moments.
Well, you're doing the next division up.
I did do a game with the next division up, but that was, the emergency basis they needed me.
Yeah.
So I'm whatever. I'm just basically doing the little girls, which is great. I like them. Yeah. I've gotten comfortable there, whatever. So they sent the schedule out for like the rest of the season, the playoffs. I don't think I qualified to do the playoffs.
It was that bad call.
I guess. It was so funny. Like, I was like, okay, you're looking for your name. Like, you tried out for a musical or something and you're looking for your name. And I'm like, my name's not on here for like the last 3 weeks. Oh. But, it's okay.
So are you done now?
Well, I've got one tonight and then some next week, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. I'd probably do it again. I mean,
well, you're already trained for it now, and now you know what to expect, so it won't be so bad the next time.
Right. And I keep telling myself, like, well, maybe they just give the games to, like, the veterans because they've been around longer, and they're not going to make the calls I do. But also, they kind of deserve, to the first shot at it. And if they don't want to make that extra cash or whatever, then give it to somebody else. So, yeah, I guess we'll just see how maybe somebody won't be able to do one of those days and they'll need me again.
So would you do like another sport, or are you just softball?
I would just do softball. Like, the only other sports that I'm kind of comfortable with are soccer and basketball. And soccer, I just get so confused with like the offside rule. I think everybody gets confused on that one. And then basketball, I think I would not call enough fouls. Like, I'm like, fine, just let them play. And basketball is funny. It's kind of like lacrosse because it's so physical. Like, you would think football would be the one where they get real chippy, and not that they don't, but like, the refs really have to control those games so they don't escalate and get to whatever. So
speaking of chippy,
yes,
we were obviously not there because we were filming a commercial, but we heard on the way home that there was, like, I guess a player got kicked out of one of like the open events this weekend in cornhole because I guess apparently, and I don't know, I was not there, so this is all alleged.
Right.
He, I guess, was, every time his opponent would do his backswing, he would start like running his mouth. Every player that he went against for the weekend. And then this younger guy, he's a newer player, went up against him, and the dad was filming the match. And I guess it went on the whole game. The dad eventually said something because, the dude was like, come on, man. Like,
right.
And the dad then spoke up and said something. And like the guy, the player, the pro, got in dude's face, like pushed his head. And then one of the major ACL guys had to, tell him, like, come on, man, like, was going to let him continue. And then the dude started threatening the ACL head guy. And so it got, insane. But like, you wouldn't think cornhole would be so aggressive.
So I've never thought about it before, though, but do they like trash talk and stuff?
I mean, there's like a limit to trash talk. And I think that's like an unsaid rule, like, kind
of like off.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, Mr. Bag, Mr. Bag, ooh, whatever. Yeah. But like, I've never experienced the level of, but like, there's a difference between trash talk and like straight up disrespect. Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, that sounds like just
like, you want to fight. Like, that's the kind of like vibe is from what other people have said. I don't know.
Right.
There.
Right.
But who would have thought cornhole?
Never me.
It's cornhole. Like,
right. And it's not like you're right on each other. It's not a contact sport. Yeah. You've got space. You can walk and diffuse.
And it's like, and it's a professional league. Like,
right.
At some point, you got to be a professional.
Right. But, it's like that in all sports. Like, think about professional baseball, football, basketball.
So, no, like, when there's a fight in like football, I want.
Me too.
Like, me too. It's so awful of me.
Like the TV, I do, but I get anxious like when stuff like that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be around when that kind of stuff. I don't know why I have these things, but yeah, like I want to duck and run. I don't want to be around. Except for one time where I jumped in between two men at a football game.
Girl,
football games. I don't know what I was thinking.
Like, which one?
Which one? What?
Like, what game was it?
Jackson was probably like 7, and it was men at the like that one, the higher levels, and they were whatever, and I was like, what am I doing? This is not where I need to be.
So was it 2 years ago? It just came up on my news, like Facebook memories. Yeah. It was our last lacrosse game of the season for the rec league, and Dylan was in 7th grade, I believe. So the two kids on the field that are doing a face-off, I mean, they were just like running their mouths the whole game, and the opponent's team like whacked our kid on the head, and this kid is like a big kid, like he was a big, like the biggest kid on our team, most aggressive, like he was like getting fouls left and right, or like whatever. So they start fighting, like
in the face-off.
They just start fighting, and so we're all like no adults are doing anything. Everybody's just standing there, and like the refs are just like, and all the parents are like, So Brandon hands me, he's like, hold my glasses, and like he hands me his glasses, and he goes to run down the hill, and he's like, he gets down there, and he's like, I'm too old for this. Like, what am I doing? The kids are like my size now. Like, I mean, and Brandon's not small.
No, he's
but he was like, what am I doing? Like. So he comes, after like it's broken up or whatever, he comes back up the field. He's like, I'm too old for this. I'm like winded running down the hill.
That's funny. That is funny. But in some sports too, like during practice and stuff, when things escalate, like they'll let them go a little bit just to like.
This was going on like longer than you would think they should let it go. But I don't know, maybe they're not allowed to touch the kids. Maybe there's like rules that they can't do anything. But Brandon was like, nobody's doing anything, like somebody do something, because normally in a team sport, like both teams will, then all the kids will.
It was probably such a shock. Like that's the way it kind of is. Like, did I really just see that happen?
That was our fight story, that Brandon got winded for
Brandon, but good effort. Good on you, dude.
He tried to be a grown-up.
Lesson learned.
I give adulting a big fat 0.
Oh yeah,
no stars.
No stars. Do not recommend.
No.
So did you read our book, Pieces of Her, right, by Karin Slaughter?
I hated this book.
It's funny because I hated last week's or 2 weeks ago, whatever. You hate this one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was entertained. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't feel passionate about it, whatever, but I followed it, and like I said, I was entertained with it. Why did you hate it?
Let's read the blurb first.
Yep, sorry.
And like from Amazon, and then we'll
discuss. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you I don't know. What if the person you thought you knew best turns out to be someone you never knew at all? Andrea Cooper knows everything about her mother, Laura. She knows Laura has spent nearly her whole life in the small beach town of Belle Isle, Georgia. She knows Laura's never wanted anything more than to lead a quiet, normal life in a conventional community. She knows Laura is a kind and beloved speech pathologist who helps others. She knows Laura's never kept a secret in her life. Andrea knows that Laura is everything she isn't: confident, settled, sure of herself, feeling listless with no direction. Andrea, unlike Laura, struggles to find her way, but Andrea's certainty is upended when a visit to the mall is shattered by an act of horrifying violence that reveals a completely different side of Laura, a cool woman who calmly faces down a murderer. It turns out that before Andrea's mother was Laura, she was someone completely different. Nearly 30 years she's been hiding from the woman she once was, lying low in the hope that no one would ever find her. But now she's exposed and nothing will ever be the same again. Well, that's like a really long blurb.
It's okay.
But it took everything. I don't know. I just didn't like it. And not that there was anything wrong with it, or like I didn't like, I mean, the storyline was okay.
Yeah.
It just took me forever to get through it. And I would find excuses.
Would you?
to not
do it.
Continue. And
I felt that way before.
It's hard.
I get it. Well, I've felt different. And like we said, that's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to, we're not going to like everything.
You're not going to make fun of me for that.
No,
I'm just teasing you. So I was gripped from the very beginning of that book. Like just because the action at the beginning of the book with the instance of all they talk about.
It started with a bang.
Right. Like, and like Verity, the way that book starts off when she's walking to the interview and all of a sudden, bam. So it grabbed me there. And then, okay, so this is like my big takeaway. When there was an instance this really impressed on me. This is going to sound silly, but there was an instance where there was an intruder in one of the situations, and she texted 911 with the address and the information.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, I don't know, but
I thought that was brilliant.
If that probably is.
It should be.
I think it is.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, like think about the times that
you gotta Google it.
If we can text 911.
Yeah.
I just thought, gosh, how many times do people need to call and you're in a situation where you can't be loud, but you can text your address or whatever.
Yeah, you can text 911.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. So now, if you're ever in the situation where you need to text 911 instead of call.
It does say if you text 911, dispatchers will ask if they can call you. Location is not as accurate with text as it is with a call. Be sure to text your exact address.
Okay.
So there's your PSA.
That is great, though. I was so impressed with that.
Yeah.
But I did like this book. It was, like I said, it was entertaining. It kept my attention. I did read the sequel too, and it was pretty good as well. So if you like the first one, try the second one. Forgotten Girl or Girl Forgotten, something like that.
I don't know. Like it was a struggle for me, and I normally like a lot of different styles of books. But I don't know, like this, it took so much out of me to read it.
Oh, I mean, sometimes it's just like, oh, listen to this.
Oh, what?
Sorry, before my reminder, squirrels. There's another app where you can listen to books free.
Oh, what is
that
it?
You link through your library card. It's called Hoopla.
Oh.
Hoopla. And you can actually do a little trial before you link your card, your library card. And I used that to listen to this book because it wasn't available on the other. And I actually gave you like the little trial for 2 weeks before because I was like, I'm not going to get up out of this chair and
to get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good.
I don't even know where my library card is.
Maybe you can get it from your Libby account and copy and paste it into this one.
I think to set up my Libby account, I had to email the library to get an electronic card.
Well, if you're responsible with your library card.
I'm not.
It's pretty good. So we do have our book list available. So next on our list is Paris Apartment.
Yes. And I am currently listening. I
am too. And I hope. Okay, so I've tried to listen to this book before. Did not get into it. Trying to listen to it now. I think I'm just going to have to read it. I mean, I don't mean that like it's a chore.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to read this one.
Yeah. So you don't like the voice?
No, I think that was, I couldn't stay connected, if that makes any sense. Like I kept having to rewind, wait, who is this again? And
so I normally, and this is probably why I talk so fast, I listen to books at a 1.5 speed. And that's just how my brain works. I need it to speed up. I got things to do.
She does talk slow though. The main narrator in this that I'm listening to does.
But I had to actually slow it down because I think the accents in the book, because they put on the Paris accents or whatever.
Right.
So
we call those French.
Yeah, whatever. Well, they were going back and forth with all these different.
Yeah, they were all different. Over. And then they were like, "You have an American accent" or something like that. And I was like, no, he doesn't.
No.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to actually slow it down to listen to it, which so far I'm enjoying it.
Good. Well, I'm going to reread it and hopefully it'll grab me a little bit more because I do want to be able to have a good discussion about it.
It is it's a little bit of a slow start, but
okay.
I'm ramping up, I think.
Okay. I'll give it a go. Give it a go.
If we can get through this week's and for you last week's, we can get through this one.
Absolutely. Our book list is on socials.
Yes. We have it pinned on Instagram, on Facebook. Yeah. So did you see we have 12 5-star reviews on Apple? But there's 3 or 4. I think it's 4 written reviews and then 12 ratings. So thank you guys so much. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I am too.
Yeah. So yay.
I had been stalking it for a while and trying to see if there were more. And I was like, I just need to pause.
Well, I normally have the editing done and it uploaded at least the day before.
Yeah.
And with the crazy weekend, I was editing this morning.
You did a great job though. It sounded beautiful.
So before I post on social, I check that it's uploaded on Apple because it takes a little bit longer for Apple to release it. And so that's the only reason I saw it this morning. And I was like, ooh, go us. Awesome. Go y'all. Y'all, thank you so much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people are enjoying it. I've got a lot of positive feedback too.
Yeah.
But we're open to constructive criticism.
You can keep that to yourself. Tell Meredith.
Okay,
Tell me.
You can tell me. I'll cry a little bit. But if there's other topics you want us to cover,
Yes.
or do less of, if you're not digging the updates, which hello,
who wouldn't?
But that'll be ramping down soon anyway. But if you're not into the dumb crime stories or whatever, just give us a holler and we'll tell you when to stop listening. I'm just kidding. Dumb crime.
Speaking of
West Virginia,
what did you find?
I found some good stuff. I have two.
Okay.
I'm trying to see which one do I want to do. I choose you, Pikachu.
Oh gosh. Did Jackson like to play Pokemon Go?
He did.
So did Dylan. Oh my gosh. When we finally found a Pikachu, it was like the golden ticket.
Like we would walk around downtown Clover.
Us too.
Did you? I was surprised we never saw each other.
And
the library was a hot spot.
That, the graveyard.
Yes, the old one. Okay, so I'll go with this story. All right, this is from, I'll source it in a minute, but here's the story. Washington, West Virginia, a routine traffic stop in West Virginia ended with 2 arrests after a police officer said the driver handed him meth with his vehicle registration. On Sunday afternoon, an officer with the Bridgeport Police Department conducted a routine traffic stop on Interstate 79 on 57-year-old Roy Porter because his car's West Virginia license plates didn't match his vehicle. Officer told the National Desk when asked Porter for his vehicle registration. Porter handed him the registration packet and a bag of crystal-like substance, believed to be meth, fell out of the packet. Lab reports came back showing that it was indeed 4 grams of meth in Porter's bag, a criminal complaint states. More police arrived, including an officer who deployed his dog to sniff the vehicle for drugs. There were more drugs in the vehicle. Go, dog, go.
I wonder how much more drugs.
I don't know. Let's see. Was discovered a passenger in his car. He had 220 grams of meth with him. Good. I'm assuming that's a lot.
I don't really know, but it sounds like a lot.
Right. Both Porter and the 19-year-old were arrested and booked in the regional jail. Porter faced charge of conspiracy to commit a felony, while the other faced criminal charges. Yeah, that's great.
So was the meth like in his wallet in between? Like how was it?
So he said registration, and I keep mine in my glove.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like license and registration. I would because I have gotten pulled over before. I just hand everything at once.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't his glove box.
Reaching over in his glove box, and he grabbed it with the other. And
like if you know what's in there, like
fill it. Like that's a lot.
Isn't that a baggie?
Yeah,
I would assume.
We sound like we know a lot about drugs.
Yeah.
No. But I'm assuming that you would notice it. I don't know. I don't know if that's all the information I got. But I was like, dude, that's just dumb. And then on top of that, 220 more grams. The other dude, I know. Drugs are bad, kids.
Yeah, just say no.
Just say no. Just say no. But
what was that dog? Like the drug dog
McGruff.
McGruff.
Officer McGruff.
Yes.
Yeah. Did y'all have Dare?
Yes.
We did too, with the t-shirts.
Yeah. Nobody I don't know. I'm going to just pass on this because kids listen.
Yeah, so drug story in West Virginia. Pretty typical, maybe. No, I don't know.
Well, mine has to do with the graveyard.
Okay, cool.
The woman in South Charleston who allegedly stole gravestones and used them to decorate her yard and fire pit. Penny Snodgrass, 54, was arrested after a neighbor told police she stole the headstones from a cemetery. Police reportedly found the headstones in her burn pit and yard. Why?
Those are heavy.
Those are heavy. And my source was onlyinyourstate.com.
Oh, I didn't cite mine.
But yours is also on there because I saw that one too.
Yeah. I try not to use that site because sometimes I get lost in there too much. But why would you steal
Yeah. I know. But
and how?
And how many? How many did you did she take a whole row?
Mm-hmm.
And then why would you want to decorate your yard if it's not Halloween with headstones? Around your fire, like a fire pit. Burn. Maybe she made it the stones into the fire pit. It's a, I don't know. That's creepy. That's. You think nobody's gonna notice them in your yard? And what is she doing? I mean, seriously, they're heavy. Yeah. I've never tried to gravestone, but is there something you need to not at all, story? Not at all. But just trying to pick up
landscape rocks and stuff. That's are heavy.
I don't know. Like, it makes no sense to me. I don't know if it's like these like huge giant ones. If it's just
the picture, it's like big, huge 6 foot tall ones. I'm sure it wasn't.
But like, sometimes they just have like the stone plaques or whatever that are smaller. I mean,
still, what would you do with that? Like, how are you going to decorate?
It's got people's names on it. Like, there's no way to deny it.
Morbid. And I'm fascinated by like old graveyards and stuff like that. But even I would not do that.
But I kind of giggled at her last name.
It's not on your ass.
I don't know why. It just made me laugh. It's like saying bamboozled.
Oh, yeah.
I love that word, and it just made me giggle.
Let me see. What else was I going to tell you about?
Oh, well, so speaking of like the getting stopped for drugs, I saw not too long ago that there was a North Carolina policewoman, ex-policewoman, like she hadn't been a police officer for like 10 years or whatever, that got stopped, pulled over, or I think she's meeting somebody in like a parking lot, and the cops came for whatever reason. And she had beyond, like, I mean, acid.
Is it still a thing?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said to Brandon. I was like, I didn't even know that was still around. Like a lot of, pot, like a bunch of different types of pills. I
didn't know this.
Yeah. And then so they showed her picture, and like, listen, I've got tattoos, so like it's not, but like she just looked like, I don't know, like it was just like covered, and like she looked like she lived a hard life in the last 10 years, because they showed like her police officer picture and then like her now picture, and it looks like she's been using some of that stuff. She's been
crossed the line to the other side of the law.
Yeah. So I was like, that's insane.
Well, and speaking of that, have you ever heard the story about I'm sure you have because you listen to TCO, the mafia cops?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. The
70s.
Yes. Where it's two cops that turned dirty and just the money and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Then they weren't like even cashing their regular paychecks.
And driving around in like a Corvette and stuff. And
those are some dumb criminals.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's all kinds of like documentaries and stuff on them. And
well, did you listen to the last Patreon of TCO?
I haven't.
It's the dude that was calling up all these fast food restaurants and saying that their employee was stealing, and to having the manager call like this young employee into the room and like strip search, like telling them to strip search her on the, it was awful. But like, and then they're sitting there like who would do this? Like, if they really needed to see the person, they would be there. Like, I mean, come on.
I have heard that somewhere else before, maybe on another podcast or just like a series or something. But heard of that. I know you. But in that moment, if you're terrified and panicked, and
listen, somebody tells me that,
I know,
I would be swinging. I'd be getting arrested for something else. It wouldn't be
swinging with your hands.
Yeah, right? yeah, not like swinging.
Oh my God!
If y'all can see the video of this today,
it's a lot today.
We need a Patreon just for video.
I think so. Well, and we didn't do anything last week because we were both so busy, and with you going out of town. So I don't know if it's just we're out of sync or we're both just really tired or what.
I think it's the weather. Like it's like kind of like
it's an overcasty day.
Yeah,
it's been so warm, and now it's chilly. I know.
We're gonna blame it on the atmosphere.
Okay.
I like that.
With the atmospheric pressure.
Do you believe in like tarot cards and stuff like that? No. Like I do believe in it all. Like I think that there is like, I don't know. I told you this before. Like I believe in all the things. Like
I just don't. And let me maybe change that. Like I believe there are spirits and everything, but I don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to open any kind of doors like that to anything that could be evil in my mind, in my heart. That's how I feel. But you have you ever done like tarot readings and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to me.
And like I'm totally, but I'm afraid. Like I've done it before. I'm just, I don't know. Like as I get older, I'm like, do I really want to know?
Right.
When I was younger, I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Yeah. But my sister went to last year, I think it was, like the people that can talk to
the medium.
Yeah.
Right word. Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, she got to speak to all the people that she like almost everybody she wanted to talked to came through.
Oh,
So that was, I mean, like I was on the phone, like she was telling me and I was like in tears and like, I just don't think like, emotionally I could handle it personally. Like, and it gave her so much, like, I don't want to say closure, but like
like a piece about things.
Like knowing that, they're, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know emotionally if I could handle it because I'm like a very, very emotional person and it would just stay with me like way longer than I think a lot of people.
I think that, I mean, if I did do something like that, I'm scared that it would not give me a peace or closure. I would want more.
Yeah.
Where I would be like, oh, I want to talk to him again or whatever. Yeah. And I just, I don't want to open any kind of doors like that for me. Like I said, me.
Did you do the Ouija board and stuff when you were a kid? No, nothing.
No. Did you though?
Yes.
Now we did do light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Did it work?
I feel like it did sometimes.
We never did that.
You didn't? We need to do a demo.
Rex.
No, but and even doing that, like, I mean, like fourth grade or whatever, like I was like, got the heebie-jeebies. And I know that's kind of the point, right? But I never did any of the other stuff. I don't know.
Well, even right when Candyman came out, because like that was in we were younger. Like we would do like Bloody Mary and like all that stuff. Yeah. But
no, I like haunted houses.
Yeah. Well,
you?
I do, but I get so scared and then
okay. Another adventure. We're gonna mic up and get to a haunted house. GoPro.
I was probably like 8th grade and my dad took us to a haunted house and it was like a haunted hayride or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, you're not allowed to touch the actors. Well, this dude wouldn't leave me alone and I turned around and I swung.
Oh, did you connect?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He yelled at me.
Whoops.
It's like he wouldn't stop.
Well, so every fall for the past 2 years, and now it's a tradition, they're already talking about this year. Some of the other parents and I take Jackson and his friends and like 10 of them to a haunted house together. And then the first year they spent the night at my house after. And last year they camped in our field. I know they did not sleep all night. Well, and the bad part about it is that I had the neighbor's son who's in high school, like come over in the middle of the night and like scare them and stuff. It's great. It's great. But they still talk about all that. And they're
parent tips all day long, y'all.
All day long. All day long. They were exhausted. Jackson's like, I've never not slept that much in all my life. And camping, sleeping is different than regular, but they did have a good time. But every year the group like grows and the parents go and I'll walk through with them, but I don't think I'm gonna walk through this year. But it's fun. So what's funny too is like the dads all wait in the parking lot and the moms are usually the ones that go, yes, Brian's terrified of that kind of stuff.
Really?
He does not like scary movies.
He is a big man. Like he should not be. So Brandon and I, when we were in college, Brandon went to we went to a haunted house together. And I'm petrified. Like I want to be scared, so I'm there for it. But like I was petrified.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for something to jump out. And I hate clowns. Like hate clowns.
Oh yeah, that's like Bethany. Clowns. Was there clowns there?
Oh, there's clowns every time you go to a haunted house.
Of course there are.
He was trying to get one of the actors. Like I was looking the other way, and the actor was coming up, and so he was trying to get the actor to hold my hand, like without me knowing
that it was. I
was like, you are such a jerk.
That's rude.
Right?
That's rude. Well, so we went to one, last year we went to the Fear Farm. And the year before that, we went to another one called Booger Jim's. It's like out in the country of like almost a Gaffney. And it's like one admission fee, but you get to go to like the different houses. And one house was like a clown house. And once you're there, like you're stuck in the process of everything.
No.
Yeah, Anthony was not enjoying that.
Hard pass
on that. But yeah, I like haunted houses and stuff.
I do too. I just don't want a whole house of clowns.
No, I get it. But the stuff that creeps me out the most is when you go to these things and there's like old doll beds and like that kind of thing.
Have you ever been to like a real haunted house?
Not that I know of.
There was a place in Pennsylvania that was on. Remember when MTV was doing those like most haunted places, and they had people stay overnight in the places? So one of those places was in like the area that we live.
Okay.
And so that Halloween, like after it aired, they turned that into a haunted house where it wasn't a lot of people like jumping out. I mean, they had a couple, but it wasn't like a traditional haunted house where like every 2 seconds you're getting jump scared.
Yeah.
But that was probably like the creepiest
I can imagine
experience.
Yeah.
Because like you were like legit looking for like real ghosts.
You're waiting to see. Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah. But it was like, I forgot what kind, it was kind of some kind of institution.
Oh yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I know. Yeah. I'm good.
I'll read about it. But I'm fine. I don't need to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. What state are we doing for next week? You want to go crazy Florida?
Let's go Florida.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're going to find lots of good stuff.
I think so. I'm excited about that.
I'm going to look for something with an alligator.
I will look for something with what?
Well, when I was looking for the West Virginia, there was one that a guy stole a baby alligator out of a store and got bit.
What did you think was going to happen? Cletus?
He stuck it up his shirt.
Oh my gosh. People are just idiots. People are idiots. I will look for something to do with like somebody trying to go to a theme park.
Ooh.
That will be my...
There's probably like a whole website of like dumb crimes in Disney.
Yeah. And maybe it won't be a crime, but it'll be like dumb planning for something like that.
Yeah.
But I'll try to make it crime. I'll try to fit all the criteria.
Okay. I like it.
And then we're doing Paris apartment book.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to do my best
to get through it. Mm-hmm. So next week, our book is The Paris Apartment.
Yes.
And our state is Florida.
Yep.
And I'm going to look for alligators. You're going to look for theme park.
I am. I cannot wait.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Please leave us a review. We would really appreciate that.
And subscribe so that you get an alert when we have new episodes. But if you don't, they'll be available on Tuesdays.
Yep. And follow us on the socials.
Yes.
On Facebook and Instagram. We're actually on TikTok too.
We are.
Oh, we're going to do a TikTok challenge.
Yes, we're going to try. We have to make sure because we've tried it once and then
our technology skills are not amazing.
Yeah, maybe we need to have Dylan set that up too. But we weren't in frame for most of the challenge.
Yeah.
And so we will try to set that up better and get that posted this week.
Cool.
So thank you guys so much for listening, and you will hear us next week.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.